Hello and welcome to this episode of Pardon the Integration, where we discuss top trends in the channel today. I'm your host, Katie Bavoso from the Channel Company. HPE has officially launched HPE GreenLake for block storage, the industry's first storage-as-a-service that offers self-service and a 100% availability guarantee built in for mission-critical environments. At its core, HPE GreenLake for block storage is designed to offer partners and customers a more transactional storage-as-a-service option to solve complexity, simplify operations, and go to market faster. With me today to discuss HPE GreenLake for block storage is David Pavicic, Block Storage as a Service Solutions Business Manager at HPE. If it's your first time, the way the podcast works is we have 3 topics with 3 minutes to talk about each. So let's get started. David, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
We've got an exciting first topic to talk about. It's get to know HPE GreenLake for block storage. Now, first of all, this is a very new offering, correct? So we're just talking about this, probably one of the first conversations around it.
Correct, yeah.
With that said, let's first get to define it. What is HPE GreenLake for block storage, and how is it different from the original HPE GreenLake offering?
HPE GreenLake for block storage is still a storage offering where we allow our customers and partners to utilize our storage portfolio through a consumption model. It's a little bit more transactional and more fixed configs versus the classic GreenLake environment, which is very customizable. So it really gives our customers and partners the ability to kind of choose whichever environment they want. So if they need something that's very, very granular and delicate towards a certain workload, we can address that through our previous way of being able to handle GreenLake. If it's something that is more attribute-based, where they just need capacity, performance, and availability, then we kind of enter through this more transactional way of doing things.
Where did you see the need for an as-a-service storage offering like this in the market?
The reality is that our ability to transact faster was always kind of hurting us. So now when we look at cloud solutions and their storage offerings, their ability to kind of hit the ground running is a lot quicker than what we could do with GreenLake before. So GreenLake for block storage was introduced to try to compete a little bit more with those offerings, to be that much more transactional, that much quicker to market, so customers can utilize and start using the stuff faster.
Now that we've gotten to know what it is, let's talk about who we should offer it to. So when it comes to partners targeting those customers to offer it to, what kinds of customers would be ideal to utilize HPE GreenLake for block storage?
Pretty much anybody. The customers that we see right now, they're in that transition phase where they're going from a more siloed approach in their data centers to try to be a bit more federated across their infrastructure that allows them the ability to have an on-prem solution while at the same time being able to manage it through a cloud provider like model as well. And then we can extend that offer off to include things like backup and management of VMware and VMware VMs as well.
Let's move right along into topic 2, better business opportunities. So now that we know it is more transactional, let's get into that business opportunity there. How can partners go to market faster with HPE GreenLake for block storage?
So the intent behind the solution, again, is to be very transactional, to be quicker to market. As a part of that, we're shifting away from our legacy tools with Block and some of our other as-a-service models. We're using new tools that allow the partner to do a little bit more of a self-serve quoting mechanism. So the ability for them to get a price and be able to convert that to a customer is just that much faster with these new solutions.
So we know there's a bit more of a structure there to help get it to market faster, but what makes HPE GreenLake for block storage flexible?
The nice part about it is that there's a element of additional components, whether that's compute or storage or software, that's built into the solution. So if you need to burst beyond the subscription that the customer has, it's very easy for them to just continue to use what they're doing without having to do much from a pre-configuring or pre-growing perspective. It's already there. All they got to do is just add more capacity or use the capacity that they have, and then just pay for the add-on when they need it. Then when they don't need it, the elasticity of the solution allows them to kind of go back to wherever their commit was, and they continue using that infrastructure from there.
So we got to talk about money, because that's usually the favorite part partners like to get into with this. What is the opportunity for partners to gain new streams of revenue or potential streams of revenue by offering HPE GreenLake for block storage?
That's a great question. Typically, these as-a-service models, they are in a monthly billing cycle. So there's added margin that gets added to whatever the customer is going to consume from the partner that resells it. Further to that, these solutions are a great point to, in addition to the recurring revenue the partner gets, to also provide some of their services to go back and look at, how the infrastructure is being utilized. Is it being overutilized? Is there an opportunity to, better improve how they're structuring their data across the disk or possibly in their backup infrastructure, and then being able to, generate some more revenue from their services entity versus just the hardware sale and the services sale.
Let's go right into our last topic. With that said, it's get started with HPE GreenLake for block storage. So before I ask you how partners can literally get started with you, can you give me a real world example of how a partner of yours was able to solve a customer problem using HPE GreenLake for block storage?
Right. It all kind of stems back to the elasticity play, right? So we've got an account that they really only need to use additional capacity for a couple months in the year. In a classic capital purchase environment, they would have to buy all that capacity, all that compute, all that stuff for the whole year. Not only just buy it, but they also have to maintain it. They got to make sure it's patched and running and everything up to date. With GreenLake for block, they're able to run the environment based on the commitment that they need to run what they need to do for 10 months of the year. And then for those 2 months, they can burst out and start using some additional capacity. And for them, it's a much easier process to just burst into that overspace or that variable capacity space and then flex right back down to it and run the rest of their business that way.
So as far as this offering goes, obviously you're backed by the full force of HPE when you're offering HPE GreenLake for block storage. So how do you help partners close more deals when offering the solution?
With our engagement with partners, we do have a lot of incentives for them to leverage. There's a full services field from an HPE perspective that can help them with modeling and configuring and providing a solution out to the customer as well. So the partner's not on their own. There's a lot of enablement opportunities. There's a lot of sessions like we're doing with GreenLake Days and throughout the States and globally. So those are all access points for a partner to work with to get that flexibility and that comfort level with the solution as well.
Last question today. Where can interested partners learn more if they want to get started selling HPE GreenLake for block storage?
First and foremost, partners should probably reach out to their partner business managers from HPE. There's a lot of information on the Partner Ready portal that's available to them. And they're just feel free to look at whatever resources that we have on our websites and talk to your local reps as well.
Awesome. David, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate the time.
Before we go, I'm going to make sure I list my top 3 takeaways from today's discussion. 1. HPE GreenLake for block storage offers partners a more transactional storage as a service offering for customers who need less customization and want to get up and running quickly. 2. Customers can still scale to their needs with HPE GreenLake for block storage thanks to the same flexible as a service billing options as the original HPE GreenLake offering. And 3. Partners can increase their revenue potential by selling services on top of the HPE GreenLake for block storage sale. Thank you once more to David, and thank you for those of you at home who are watching or listening to today's episode of Pardon the Integration. Once more for the channel company, I'm Katie Baboso, and I'll see you next time.